Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Robin here. Welcome back for another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the weekly update of my Canadian-based stock portfolio on Wealthsimple Trade. So let's get started. Let's jump inside the portfolio and let's see how our stocks have been doing for this week. Alright guys, what's up? Here's the portfolio update of the video. We'll do a quick little overview of our Wealthsimple Trade accounts. Here I have my two accounts here on the main screen. We have 111, just under $111,000. So we've seen our stocks have actually went up quite a bit over the past week or so. We've seen a nice little increase here. We go down and we'll check out the TFSA first, since this one actually jumped up quite a bit over the last little while. The 1 day return from today, which is November 23rd. It is Wednesday today, so not too much happening today in our TFSA. The 1 week return is plus 2%. And keep in mind the TFSA is more focused on the American market. So we have, a lot of those American stocks, which have kind of jumped up a little bit. The 1 month return is 3%, so that's about $3,000. So a nice little increase there. The past 3 months, we're looking at about 1% return. So you can see it's a bit of a dip with a bit of a recovery happening. It's going to be interesting to see what happens towards the end of the year, if we are going to kind of recover a little bit of a lot of the, the S&P 500 that we've lost there. It kind of seems to be going that way, but we'll have to wait and see. And of course, the 1 year return is down still slightly. And this is a pretty big overview of basically what's been going on in our portfolio for the past year. Lots of ups and downs, but we're kind of slowly getting back up there. And of course, the 1 year return of the TFSA is about 10%, which is about $8,440, which of course is tax free, and it's been super cool. So that's the TFSA. Doing actually not too bad. The personal account is a little bit more Canadian dividend focused. So this is where we keep a lot of our dividend stocks and stuff like that. Although the TFSA has a good mixture of everything. The 1 day return for the personal account is kind of sitting about the same, not too much happening. The 1 week return is up 2%. So we've seen the Canadian markets rise up a little bit. 1 month return is about 3% in the positive. Last 3 months is about 0. And 1 year return and all-time return for the personal account is kind of sitting up that plus 2%. So it's actually been doing quite well. And this has been a pretty steady increase since we first started investing in 2021 of April 23rd. Just been pretty consistent rises here in our portfolio. And look at the last little bit. We can see like about the last 2 months or so, we've seen a nice little steady increase, with most of that coming from the Canadian market. So today we're going to be focusing on the personal account, and we're going to be buying, I got about $145. We're going to put in a few stocks here, and I'll talk about some of the stocks inside my portfolio as we go further in the video. And just really quick guys, before we go any further, if you guys want to use any of the tools and services that I talk about in this video, there's links to everything in the description of this video. So the first thing we'll do really quickly is give you guys a quick little update on AQN. A lot of you guys have been talking about AQN. It's kind of the big utility company that everybody's talking about right now. So Algonquin Power and Utilities, if you guys haven't noticed, it's down quite a bit inside of our personal account. And I'll just kind of give you a big picture of the TFSA. It's also down about 50%. So it's obviously taken a big hit. It's quite talked about stock, a lot of interesting things around the stock right now. Obviously, a lot of people predicting it's going to get its dividend cut, most likely. I mean, it's going to have to happen at some point in time or other, I would imagine. But the big question everybody's asked, is it a good time to buy AQN right now? I did a video, I think my last video I talked about this a little bit more in depth, and honestly guys, it's up to you guys. I am going to be buying a little bit of it here and there just to kind of bring up my position. But again, I just want you guys to know 100% that there's a lot of exposure, a lot of risk if you're going to expose yourself to the stock. And of course, you guys have to make a call for yourself on what you guys want to do. I hold most of my stocks in ETFs and different things like that, and I just kind of pick a small percentage of my portfolio myself. So I'm actually not taking a lot of risk, but I'm just going to do it just for fun. And if it, I do believe in the long-term value of the company. So I think it's kind of a bit of a gamble, bit of a risk, but I think it's calculated and it should be good. But by no means do you guys have to do this. It's up to your own personal opinion. And once again, I'm here just to show you guys what I'm doing, to give you guys basically something to follow, and it's up to you guys what you guys want to do. It's more like you guys just observe and decide for yourself what you want to do, because there's different investing types for every single person. There's no one size fits all. So I'm going to put about, we have $145. I'll put about maybe let's say $40 inside AQN today. So I'll buy a little bit, but again, we're not going super crazy because I do understand that this stock could have some problems, and it could be a while before it recovers. It could be a couple years. So I don't want to put too much in right now. The last little bit inside our personal account, I'm going to spread across, I think, some of our covered calls. Once again, I mentioned this multiple times inside my videos. I'm looking to build these up. So I could put this in HDIV. I like holding HDIV inside the personal account because it is focused on Canadian stocks, and it does have a lot of Canadian eligible dividends. So it is kind of tax efficient. HYLD Even though it's not tax efficient, you do get a nice good yield, and there is a lot of eligible dividends as well. So really, when it comes to taxes, it's a complicated thing, and I'm not going to talk about it in today's video. But I kind of am probably pushing to use more of the Canadian stocks inside my personal account, especially from covered calls, and keeping things like HYLD, which is more US focused, probably in the TFSA, I think. Again, I'm not 100% sure. You could also stick it in the RRSP, but I'm actually probably more comfortable putting more growth-based stuff inside my RRSP since I won't need the income anytime soon. So again, that's just my opinion on that, but I'm still not 100% sure. I know taxes are kind of complicated with this kind of stuff, and I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do, and of course everybody's situation is going to be different. So the rest of the income I think I'm going to throw inside the covered calls once again, because like I mentioned, I'm looking to build up some of these yields and still take advantage of them. Let's take a quick peek over HDIV over the past week. It is up 1%. The 1 month return is up 7%, so it did get a nice little increase. Of course, we're not really too concerned about this because I don't ever plan on selling this covered call. We're buying it for the yield. But when the prices do dip, you do get those yields. They go up, right? So you can buy it at a cheaper price. I'm not sure what the yield is right now. I think it's currently trading about like 9 to 10%. So when these dips happen with the covered calls, you're kind of basically buying that yield, right? It's cool when the stock price goes up, but the reality is you kind of are buying into the yield, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to put about $100 in HDIV and bring up some of our covered call ETF income here. I think I'm going to put $97 and then we'll have a couple bucks left over, and I don't know, I'll probably throw them into some stock or something like that. But once again, that's the main focus of my portfolio for this week, guys. And of course, if you guys are watching this video, let me know what you guys are buying in the comment section. Things I want to show you guys really quickly is a cool little report here that I found off BNN Bloomberg about different Canadians' investing habits. So once again, I want you guys to take this stuff with a grain of salt. Whenever you're dealing with news sites, you have to know how to research. I follow a lot of different health stuff and online, and I whenever you deal with industries like that, you have to really do your research and understand that websites will like change headlines. They'll kind of try to do interesting, cool things to get you to click, like clickbaity articles. So whenever you look at articles like this, you have to do your research. And this was a survey that was done by a website called Hello Safe, which I guess is I'm not even familiar with the company, but this is basically Safe wanted to know more. Hello Safe wanted to know more about investing habits of Canadians. So they surveyed a total of 837 people. So once again, take that into consideration. This is a group of people who are already using an online website, I guess, to interview. So obviously the results going to be a little bit skewed, but I think it was pretty interesting nonetheless to see the results that they got. So obviously this is a small niched part of the Canadian demographic, but I think it's interesting to see what people are actually doing here. So here's the report. It basically says that Canadians prefer to invest their savings in stocks, and this makes sense to me, but it was once again pretty interesting. Stocks are at 55%, I guess, kind of right there in the middle. By far the biggest thing. Real estate kind of second here, and my opinion why I think stocks is number one, it's the most consistent. Number two, it's easy to get into. I mean, you don't need a lot of money. Like real estate is very, you kind of need to have money to invest in real estate. With stocks, you can literally invest for $10. Also, online brokerages like Wealthsimple and different things like that definitely make it a lot easier for people to get started. And I think stocks is definitely like probably the best way to get started. So that's super cool. Real estate is also second. Like I mentioned, I'm not super familiar with real estate myself. I don't own real estate, but obviously people can make money in real estate. Life insurance is on here. I thought that was kind of interesting that they put life insurance. I guess life insurance is an investment in itself when you think about it, but it's kind of interesting. Cryptocurrencies here is at the bottom, which once again, I'm kind of surprised, but I'm not really surprised. I guess it depends on the demographic and what type of website they are. If it's obviously a stock-based website or something like that, or personal finance, there's probably not going to be a lot of crypto people on there, but maybe there is. I know it just depends. For me personally, I find it depends on the communities that you're a part of, whether people invest in cryptocurrencies or not, but there are a lot of people who do. And then we have the other tab here is other, so who knows what that is. Maybe it's like savings accounts, GICs, different things like that. I don't know. So I thought that was pretty interesting to show to you guys. The other thing that's interesting here is most Canadians prefer to manage investments by themselves. And once again, this is just the small example that they showed us, but I think this is probably in line with where like the way trends are going, especially with younger people and whatnot, and people coming up. So a lot of people, over 60%, prefer to invest their money themselves, and I fall into that category. Obviously, I think a lot of people watching these videos on my YouTube channel probably fall into this category. In fact, if you guys are watching, let me know what kind of investments you guys do. Do you use it by yourself? Do you use a broker? The second one would be with a broker. I guess this would be like using a robo advisor, I think is what they mean by that. So that'd be like Wealthsimple Invest or something like that. And then with your bank would be using a traditional bank. I know these, bank investing is kind of going out of fashion for a lot of good reasons. As people become more educated, they realize that it's actually pretty easy to do for yourself and you don't have to pay big fees. But of course, everybody's situation is different. And then this other tab here is following a relative's advice. That's kind of an interesting thing they stuck in there. So hopefully your relatives know what they're doing if you're doing that. But anyways, I thought that was kind of funny. But I want to show you guys some cool little information here. Once again, obviously it doesn't, we're talking about a small sample size of Canadians, but I think it is kind of an accurate projection of the way things are going. So I thought that was interesting to talk about in today's video. Quick little update when it comes to our dividends. We have no new dividends for this month. This week we have no new dividends from the last video I published. So I'm not going to do anything, but I will do a quick little update on some of the stocks we hold that have increased their dividends. CNQ, Canadian National Resources, did increase their dividend by 13%. I did a post on Blossom the other day, kind of asked you guys about your opinion about CNQ. A lot of people left some cool little things about CNQ. I think CNQ definitely is a cool natural resources company to look into, utility company, all that kind of stuff. I think they do have a lot of potential and they obviously have done quite well. They're trading pretty high right now, but again, that doesn't really matter if you believe in the long-term value of the company, but definitely something to check out if you guys want. And we also seen Suncor Energy, a stock that I personally don't own myself, actually raised their dividend about 10%. So that was kind of interesting too. And if we head on over to our dividend sheet, we can see our monthly dividends. Once again, no new update over last week, but we are sitting at $157 Canadian. I'm thinking about probably taking all my accounts, which would be my Wealthsimple Invest account. My Wealthsimple Trade account, my two accounts, my TFSA and my personal account, and taking my fiance's TFSA, and I also have another personal account with my employer and sticking them on a spreadsheet so you guys can kind of see everything, like a bird's eye view of all of our accounts, and maybe I'll include like the dividend yield and the total gains in there. And when I do my updates, you guys can get a full picture view of my portfolio, because I know I do use Blossom a lot of the time to show you guys my portfolio. You can see everything in one place, but I don't have my fiance's portfolio on there, and I also don't have my employer's based portfolio. I get an employee match for the company I work with, so it's not that much money in there, but it is something to take into consideration, right? So in the future, if you guys know of any tool I can use for that, I'll probably just end up using a spreadsheet since it'll be the easiest one to use. But please let me know if you guys know of any cool, good tools to do that with. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like usual, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I think for next week and next week's update, we're going to take a step back and kind of use some of our dividend income, so to speak, kind of pretend to use some of our dividend income and go shopping with it and show you guys what I could grab from the store. We'll take the $150 that we made so far this month, try to have some fun with it and try to buy some groceries. So maybe we'll do something fun like that, and I'll showcase to you guys how we save money doing that kind of stuff in the next video. So anyways guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more videos. Take care, and I'll see you guys later.